Well, hello. Welcome to Tarot to a T. Today's reading will be for the sign of Scorpio. If this is the first time to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I want to give a big shout out to everyone who has subscribed and been so kind and generous to make a donation to my Buy Me a Coffee account, which could be found in the bottom of the description box if you're interested. But today we're going to open up a general inquiry for February 2023 for the sign of Scorpio. What does Scorpio... Oh, too many cards on that one. What message does Scorpio need to hear? What message does Scorpio need to receive? What guidance can you offer Scorpio for February 2023? Okay, cards of advice, and then we'll get started. Oh, okay. Cards of advice, please. Yeah, I see it. I can't take all those, but I'll take that. You might have seen that as well. That's okay. All in due time. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Too many cards on that one. Just looking for one or two more cards. Okay. Here we go. Something might have been revealed to you that was previously unknown here. It's generally a card of hidden information and the experience of finding that out. I tend to believe, Scorpio, that it's something that's unsettling, it's disturbing in some way, it's not necessarily positive. It's like the hidden truth. Let's see what else we have. So if that already rang true for you, let's see it. Let's see if the reading goes in that direction as well. The Seven of Clubs, interesting. So whatever truth that came out, you notice a pattern here? Sevens. So sevens are about internal experience. So whatever's going on with you is very internal. And what I mean by that is, yeah, you're reacting to external events. But Seven of Clubs, getting back on the subject of that, you're feeling trapped, confined, a prisoner. Like you got your hands tied, your back's up against the wall. It's that kind of energy. So this information that came to light was not... I'm hearing you didn't want to hear it, but it's put you in a bind of some sort. Three of Hearts. Yes, you're trying to possibly make a decision that's pulling at your heart in a couple of ways, and I don't mean like romantic. It's your emotions are pulled in two different directions. Possibly you don't know how to feel about the situation. Like on one hand, you may be angry. On the other hand, you may be fill in the blank. Sad, afraid. You're torn. It's the card of being torn. Wow, this is intense. Four of Diamonds. This is the Windfall card. Generally, it does talk about some kind of monetary, financial gain, honestly. Some huge abundance. Well, let's not say huge, but it's unexpected. Unexpected abundance is coming your way. There's a warning with the Four of Diamonds about overspending. So it's significant enough that you may be tempted to spend it in a way without much thought, you know, kind of, I want to say gambling is not exactly the word, but all of a sudden you're like the kid in the candy shop, you know, all the things that you've ever thought of that you wanted or could use and you weren't able to afford them. It's kind of like, be careful with that. So I'm not sure how that ties in with the rest of this. It's very intriguing though. A bit cryptic to me. If it resonates with you, let's go ahead and see what else is going on that will help me convey the message you need to hear. Okay, more information about Scorpio's situation. 4 hearts. So you got 2 sevens out here and 2 fours. And I forgot to mention with the 4 diamonds, and also it's the same. The truth with the 4 hearts is the same, in that it talks about stability and things being solid and secure in your home. So on this side you have that windfall card. So financially you're kind of set at the moment, and also with the 4 hearts, you're feeling very connected, supported. So you're not facing a loveless situation by any stretch of the word. You're not alone. At least you're not feeling that way. What could this situation be that truth was revealed and you're being torn in 2 different directions? 8 of spades. Might have something to do with work. Yeah, it might have something to do with work. The work could have been very secure for you financially, and you felt connected to the work. Not that you're getting your love from your work. I mean, some people do, so I'm not judging that. It's just that 4 hearts is more about the home unit, the home aspect. But if for in some form that made you feel secure, this work situation, connected, like maybe you've been there a long time and you've formed pretty deep connections with people you work with, people who are very familiar to you. The 8 of spades also talks about stress at work, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the above, and the need for stress relief. I think whatever was revealed here is possibly around business or work, some kind of professional capacity. And you're in this situation of possibly making a decision because you're torn in a couple different directions, and you're feeling kind of like your back's up against the wall. So I feel like the decision or whatever you're trying to decide here with the 3 of hearts, you have no choice. So that's what I've gathered so far about this. Okay, what other information can come out to help us in this reading today? Okay, 6 of clubs. Whatever's going on is leading to great personal growth. It's a kind of a general statement, but it could be in any area: financial, professional, emotional, mental, spiritual, you name it. And there's options and opportunities that are going to arise, if they haven't already, that are going to lead to bigger and better things in those areas. So that indicates to me the path that you're on, Scorpio, is indeed the path you're meant to be on. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Any more cards you can offer that will, give me more clear information about Scorpio's situation without too many, because I had a couple of groups that wanted to fly out, but I can't take the groups. Very interesting. So again, just to review, 2 sevens, 2 fours, and 2 eights. The eights talk about things progressing and going forward. This is actually a very positive sign as far as finances, abundance, monetary things, obviously. It's the entrepreneurial card. So I see you, I mean, whatever has been revealed could involve some kind of entrepreneurial, what I'm trying to say, solo business that you're involved in. So like some kind of, it's not even a side hustle. I think it's bigger than a side hustle. It's not like that. So it's something that you have been working on your own, because this is about solo efforts and hard work paying off monetarily. So perhaps, like I said, something that has come to light is dealing with this self-employment, in whatever form that takes. You may not literally be self-employed, but whatever you're involved in this business professional situation is something that you've been kind of working on independently in some manner. But it definitely could be for that person who is an entrepreneur. The Queen of Hearts is here. You might have a water sign around you, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. If not, it's also the motherly figure. You might have somebody who's like nurturing you in some way. She also offers a lot of advice. So if you have somebody who's like taking care of you, I'm not picking. Well, I mean, it could be you, because it is a water sign. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with it. I was tempted to say this isn't you, Scorpio, but huh. I mean, maybe it is. I'm just gonna retract that a little bit, because also the Queen is about somebody with some power and authority, and I think definitely in this situation, you have some kind of personal power and authority. I think we've already kind of established that. And maybe you tend to be more emotionally involved with it than the average person, just because you are a water sign. It's like something you've really put your heart into, for example. Especially if it's a solo business thing that you have going where it's just you, and it's like an online business, or it's e-commerce, or it's some kind of consulting. Anything under the sun, and it's something it's dear, it's close to your heart, because down here, this decision, whatever you're trying to decide between, obviously affects you deeply, right? But you have no choice, so let's just still have to try to. I don't know if I'm going to get much more information about what exactly it is. A lot of times these cards or these readings come to me, and I'm interpreting the emotional energy more than anything else. Sometimes I do get a kind of a picture of the scenario, of the physical circumstances, the external circumstances. I'm not getting that one. I'm not getting that with this one. Whatever is transpiring, it's a new start in a direction, in some manner, where you're following your heart. And this isn't necessarily romantic. Again, water energy, right? I mean, you're a water sign, so it's very important to you to follow your gut and what you truly desire. It's almost like, this is my summary of this. Let's say you are an entrepreneur. There's some aspect of the business that doesn't set with you well. Let's say you found out there's a conflict of values or ethics. You didn't realize you were contributing to, let's say, a cause that contradicts your values. And so that would be the truth revealed. And you have to make a decision, because you have no choice about it. It's like you can't go on in this capacity, and the decision, since it's something you have put your heart into, that's where you're torn. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's as simple as that for me. There's probably a lot more details for some Scorpios out there, obviously, that would get into the nitty-gritty details, but I'm unable to see that. Okay, I'll be transparent about that. But there's a lot of stress around it, and you need to relieve that stress in some manner. So let's go ahead and look at cards of advice and see what comes down the pipe here for you. The Black and White Joker. So things are going to be still up in the air for you for a while. This is also the Fool card. In traditional tarot, some people interpret this as a new start. I see it more as just not seeing what's ahead. Not having that crystal ball, not being able to predict what the future will bring. It's just kind of being blind to that, but that's natural. There's no criticism in that sense. It's just that we don't have crystal balls. We don't always know how things are going to turn out. There is a need for you to detach yourself from something. This is the breakup card. I don't think we're talking about relationship. I think you need to detach yourself from some business aspect, for example. I'm truly hoping it's not going to lead to you detaching yourself from this business venture altogether, because I don't think you exactly want that. But if you are truly in a corner, I don't know. I mean, you'll have to decide for yourself. But this is the breakup card. It's also about things being out of your control. And I sincerely feel that we were already discussing how there's a degree of that definitely involved with this situation. The Jack of Hearts, you're being advised to keep your heart open and be vulnerable. There's a degree of vulnerability when we do have our heart open. And what I mean by your heart open is be willing to accept how things may unfold, how things may change. Perhaps even accept a unorthodox solution to this problem. Just being open in general, not having preconceived ideas and being hell-bent on a particular outcome. And yeah, separation. I do think you're having a ethical dilemma. I think this reading is screaming ethical dilemma, because we have breakup artist, and then we have the card of separation. You're being advised to separate and being open to that idea. So we're going to ask for more cards of advice, and if you haven't been with me before, what usually happens here is, and it's just kind of evolved organically, I didn't plan it this way. When I read cards of advice, the cards I lay down initially paint one picture, one line of advice. When I start to go this way with cards I pull, sometimes we get a separate message that may or may not be connected to that. So let's go ahead. Okay, that just popped out. Options and opportunities presenting themselves financially for sure, but this is about taking financial responsibility. So you're still on this path to abundance. I clearly see that. So yes, you may have your heart invested in this pursuit, whatever it is, but you're still financially, I'll remind you of that, financially in a very good place. And you're going to have more options and opportunities presenting themselves. So again, having your heart open is about not being stuck on one plan that you've had. Like, this is your plan. Be flexible about deviations from that plan. Yeah, a tower moment. Holy crap. Okay, so towers, I'm sure you've heard people discuss these. Yes, something has to give in order for you to rebuild on this solid foundation. It is a new beginning. It is a rebirth. You're going to have to reinvent something here, Scorpio. This thing that's pulling at you, this decision you need to make, it's all about coming down to a point of rebuilding and going in a direction that you probably didn't want to go. But the truth is, the truth has now been revealed, and it's right in front of you. What the heck does it mean? But it's not my business, obviously. It's not for me to know. The Three of Spades, it is going to be a little stressful. And you're going to continue to be worried about this. This is more about worry. And again, with threes, you're looking at being pulled in two different directions. Like the three-way points of tension, not knowing which way to turn, or even how to just relieve that stress. Stress in itself can cause stress, right? If you're just feeling stressed in general. Four of Spades. Interesting. So the fours, I talked about that earlier. It talks about your stability and your security in your home. Um, this is probably so. This situation down here has probably caused some emotional stress in the home, not financial. Don't see that at all. But the emotional stress may exist. This is indicating that you're coming out of a period of stress. So in other words, you're experiencing stress relief, and it has to do with the home, like how you feel at home. So when you go home at night after, or whatever your hours are, we all work crazy shift schedules and things these days. So whenever you get home, perhaps recently, you couldn't let this go. You couldn't stop thinking about it. You were still very much in this state of what do I do, what do I do, and just weren't able to relax, and recharge as we need to for the next day. This is indicating that you're going to be experiencing stress relief in that manner. Once you go through this tower moment, bet you didn't want to hear that. And I don't know what that tower moment is. I think I've made that clear. But there's something you need to leave behind. And I think that involves letting something... I'm hearing the word fail. I don't like to sugarcoat things, and that's kind of a harsh word, but you need to let something fail. I don't think you're a failure. I don't think it's about you failing at something. It's just about letting perhaps whatever you've built dissolve. I can only imagine how hard that'd be. I can't think of a situation I've gone through that was quite that dramatic, so I don't have a personal perspective on that to offer you. But man, we already saw that. I think you definitely have your heart involved with it for a while. Yeah. I do want to emphasize this as well. And it's still important for you to follow your heart. So I think that's, again, I think that's the source of your tension and not knowing exactly what to do. But I've already gone through what the cards are saying. And don't listen to tarot if it doesn't feel right and it's not resonating with you. Don't make this fit your situation. It's just a little guidance and it gives you food for thought. That's the way you should look at it. So I don't want anyone coming back and I don't know, blaming the reading for offering you advice that you really didn't want to take and you took because you thought you should follow it. It's really only guidance. Okay? That's the healthiest way to look at these things. You should never take it word for word. You take what works for you, and if it doesn't work, just let it be. Okay. So, final card here, I think. You're going to have changes in your finances. And this is about a settlement or a negotiation. So if you're like selling out, let's say you're involved in this entrepreneurial pursuit, maybe there's somebody else involved and you're going to sell your share of the business because it doesn't fit your lifestyle, doesn't fit your values. It's something you're finding that you have to abandon. That doesn't feel good. But you are going to reach some kind of negotiation or settlement that again is going to change your financial situation. So I see that as very positive. And that's going to bring, I see it closely tied with this stress relief. It's like having a load off your mind. You're not going to be going through all this heavy, what do I do, what do I do? What is that image of people when they're wringing their hands and it just causes this constant this state of tension. You're not going to be in that anymore, which is really what I think needs to happen. But again, you're being advised to separate from this, and whatever form that takes. Maybe you don't need to completely break away from it, but change how you're involved and be open and flexible to what is possible. I am going to leave it there. Yeah, I'm quite satisfied with this advice, especially in the context of this is a very complicated situation. As I was saying, I'm sorry about that. I had to do a battery change. The longer my readings go, I'm finding my batteries are not lasting. They're rechargeable, so it's not like I can just stick in another AA and be good to go. Anyway, not to complicate the reading with my camera troubles, but there was a break in the video, and like I was saying, yeah, you have a lot on your plate, Scorpio. I don't envy the situation that you're in. I don't. But I hope that you gain some guidance here and some insight into it. And like I said, if you literally don't want to walk away from it, don't do that. I do not recommend that, okay? But I appreciate you being here. If you'd like to see when the next video comes out, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications. You'll get the notification on your phone, or you can just check back in with my channel. Also, if you are able to donate and you would like to show your appreciation, there is that link in the bottom of the description box for Buy Me a Coffee. I actually drink tea. But you just copy and paste that into your browser and it takes you right there, and it's really simple, and it's not a lot of money to purchase like one tea, okay? So again, good luck with this and take care until I see you again.